Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Deep Depth Episode 6. Today's guest is a very special guest with me, and today we're diving to the deep end of life as usual. And today's guest is a very good friend of mine, someone who I've known for a very long time. I've seen this kid grow into becoming, an upcoming talent with tons of promise, in football, someone who has a very intellectual mind, has a good sense of humor. Ladies and gentlemen, join me today, Barah Abad. Barah, welcome to Deep Depth. Here we're diving to the deep end of life. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Good, bro. Thank you for having me, bro. I really appreciate you for bringing me on. I've been wanting to do this stuff, but, finally got to make it up here and let's have some fun, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you been up to, man? What you been up to?
Nothing much, man. Just, finishing up school right now. I leave college soon, almost wrapping it up. Nothing too much crazy, though. Just working on myself, working on my body, getting myself ready for college ball, as always, So that's really what I'm excited for.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's good to hear, man. Obviously, I could imagine. Could there be possible some nerves coming into college, or you feel 100% ready?
Yeah, I mean, of course. Think about it. I'm moving away about 4.5 hours away. It's right by Springfield. It's gonna be a different feel for sure. It's moving away from the family. I've never lived this far away from home, and over there, it's not the same as Chicago. I've lived here my whole life with you, right. So it's gonna be very different. But it's in God's hands now, so. Hopefully all for the best for sure, bro. I'm excited.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's dive right into it, man. So what was the key inspiration that got you into football, and how's the journey been like so far in terms of playing, from middle school, to local park programs, and then in high school, and now on to the next step in college, which you'll soon experience.
Oh man, first off, the inspiration was just being out on the field with you guys. I'm 3 years younger than you. You graduated high school when I was a freshman. Just being out there with my brother Hamza and all that stuff, being in front of the house, playing football and all that stuff. It all just made me fall in love with that. Just the whole sport itself. I really believe it's the best sport on earth. As everyone else does. But definitely just the inspiration part of that just got me into doing it. I kept doing it in 7th grade. I joined my first tackle football team. Kept going on from there. High school came around. I was also playing basketball and all that stuff, as you know. And I just ended up taking it far. And luckily, I was good enough at it to take it to a point where I used it for college. And, I really do got to thank my older friends. You definitely for sure made me who I am for sure. Even though it's not a huge part as you think, you definitely helped for sure, bro, and helped me shape me into who I am today. And, I really appreciate you for that shit, bro.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. That means a lot. Very humble to hear that. And that's good, man. Obviously, I could imagine playing with us, like you said, it helped, fall in love with the sport. There's a lot of certain things, a lot of people kind of give that cliche answer, this certain NFL player really inspired me, or this certain NBA player really inspired me. But the fact that, gave that love and compliment to us, that means a lot. Yeah. And obviously, it's important, to understand, everything with football. So what is the feeling like preparing for each game, considering, you want to make a statement and get noticed to build your stock and image to go far?
Oh, man. Great question, by the way. Really good question. First off, preparing for a game is a lot harder than it looks. No matter what level you're at, high school, college, NFL for sure, probably definitely the hardest. But that whole week leading into the game, it's really just a mental battle with yourself, because that long season, you just had another game. So say it's week 3, you just had 2 other games and all that stuff. To flush whatever happened, good or bad, in the last game is a huge part of it. Just starting a new week and just, restarting the trailer and starting to train again and keep pushing this stuff. Training your mind is one of the most important things, and that's for almost all sports. But as a quarterback, you really can't rely on stuff that happened last time, because if you do, it's going to be stuck with you. And guess what's going to be in the back of your mind? One bad play. I don't want this to affect. And because that happens, it's going to get into this game and it's going to go into another week, and it's just going to completely mess up your whole season. So just squashing and just letting stuff go is a huge part of it. And physically, honestly, just fundamentals. I mean, the great Tom Brady, he's the greatest of all time. He just watch one of his training sessions. He's there throwing slants and hitches almost every practice, even though he's the best quarterback in the history of football. in my opinion, obviously. But, Justin Fields is up next for sure. But Tom
Brady
is we'll definitely talk about that later. But the fundamental part is just a huge part of that. And, sticking to the basics is a huge part of being successful in football.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you touched on the mental aspect of the sport, because I think the physical aspect is definitely important in football. Obviously you want to knock down the fundamentals, the skill set, but I think it's super, super important that you have the right mental approach. Like you mentioned earlier, you can't let something, in the back of your mind, get in the way of your play. Like, let's say, in the past week of your last game, you messed up this one play, you threw like 2-3 picks, like, oh man, like I don't want to throw another pick or two, to mess my team up. You have to constantly be confident, because the thing in football is, it's not like, oh, how do I play? Like, yeah, in the NBA you have possessions on that, but in football it's like each down counts. So like the first down, the second down,
you can't take one off. It's not something you can do in football. Every single play has to be 100%. You can't try your hardest. Like it takes it all out of you. And at the end of the time, whenever I'm done playing football, I know I'm gonna I gave it my all for sure. Like every single play.
Absolutely, and like you obviously that feeling, let's say you play really hard, you can win a game, but also that feeling of losing a game. How did it feel to lose games you want to win so badly? What would you say would be your best memory so far on this journey in terms of your favorite specific wins and more so losses? I know that taught you like a lot of lessons about football. Obviously a lot of people look at the ups, we also have to look at the downs, as that could shape us to becoming better players.
Man, winning close games is probably like a top 5 feeling ever, because just gutting it out with your team, especially as a quarterback, there'll be some mistakes you'll make in a game, but then good things you'll do in a game. It's just you have to shake those off. It's hard to shake off the games where you lose and it's close, because losing those close games you wanted really hurt. I can honestly tell you this year, this whole season started off on a rough patch. We were about 0-5, starting off 0-5, which have never happened in my school's history. And for us to go through that and end up making it to the championship game and be the heavy underdogs, and we led that whole game. When you lead that whole game, you're going into halftime leading, and you really do think like, hey, we have it. So that game slipped from us, and that was the last game of my high school career. And that was definitely the moment I was like, okay, like this is my why. Like I'm going to remember this moment for sure and just use it as fuel. My teammates are also playing college football. I have about 7 of them that are, and they'll tell you the same exact thing. Like, I'm going to use this game as fuel. I'm going to remember my last high school game as the game that we were the underdogs that were supposed to win, and it didn't go our way. So, other than that, like some good moments I had was football is just so fun. It's like,
it's a roller coaster, I imagine.
It's so fun. Like you'll be in the locker room with the team, just doing stupid stuff, like just having fun with the guys, like 24/7. You guys are all sweaty and tired and stuff, but it's just it's a crazy feeling. Like my brother never played football, Hamza. He never played football, but I always tell him like, dude, like if you could have played, you should have, because it's just a life-changing experience, because you're building a brotherhood with people that you never thought you would have, been that close with.
It's different,
so, yeah, just those moments throughout the season, you cherish them for the rest of your life. Like you'll remember it no matter what, no matter if I do end up taking this far and going pro, or I have a really good successful college career, God willing. But yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite moments that I could just talk about for hours and hours, bro. Sure.
No, yeah, and that's beautiful, because when you look at it, how do I put it this way? You remember all the times of, the scrimmages, the drills, the coaches, ripping you guys apart, I'd imagine, in certain moments. And even like you say, you build that brotherhood, you look out for one another, you have the offensive line, you have the defensive line, the QBs, obviously the coaching staff, perhaps, the medical staff, part of the high school, that helps out the football team. And I think that's super important. You want to build that brotherhood. You want to keep on building those memories. And like you said, it's a unique bond, because like, it's literally, in my opinion, other than, ice hockey, I think football is the ultimate team sport, because you're not going to win the championship if you don't have a good defense. You're not going to win the championship if you don't have a good offense. You need everybody to,
Team
click.
Sport, Team sport.
You need everybody to click. You can even argue the special teams, the kickers, the special, running back, like fullbacks. You need everyone to be clicking at all times. And, like you mentioned, like the best of memories and stuff like that. I remember like one of my favorite stuff I saw, I think you posted it on, I believe it was on either Snapchat or Instagram. It was after you guys beat Lane. And you guys went into the locker room, and you guys are like, "Hey, Lane, what happened?" And like, I'm sorry, that was the ultimate moment because being a graduate from Taft, we don't like them.
Anybody here. I'll tell this to the camera. That anybody who has ever went to Taft does not like Lane. My whole family went to Taft. If you talk about Lane, they'll just stop the conversation right there.
We'll stop.
And the thing about Lane is they beat us on our Hoko. Yeah, so I never lost to Lane before that game. So I walked into the game like, okay, and this was during our losing streak too. So we were about 0-3. We played them our fourth game.
It's Hoko game. You feel
Hoko
like
game. All right, we just lost our first 3 games. Let's start it off here on a good note.
You guys played home, no?
At home.
Home field advantage.
Home field advantage for my homecoming game, my senior year. I was really excited for it, obviously, because, there was so many people there, first off. It's a rivalry game. It's your Hoko game. Those are the 2 biggest games combined into one. So, first off, the energy there was crazy. It was unbelievable. It was more than the championship game, to be honest, for me. It was more high at risk for the championship game. Obviously, I'd want to win a ring, but that game meant more for me. So, they ended up beating us in a hard-fought game. Team didn't do as good as we expected. Lane got the best of us, and if some of you guys are watching out there, because I know you probably are, because you know how it is, fans and all that stuff. No, I'm joking. I'll let it go. They got the best of us that game, but when it came down to the playoffs, we played them again. They beat us the first game like 20-14 or something off.
Not even that big of a.
They called
margin.
back one of my touchdowns though, which we would have ended up probably winning that game. But
not that big of a margin.
Yeah, it wasn't that crazy. So. The next time we played them when it really mattered, we handled business, beat them by 44. So yeah, we made TikToks, and I'm gonna be honest, that was the best I've ever felt in my life. Like a lot of good stuff has happened in my life, but beating them school. After they beat you and going to the playoffs and beating them by that much was just insane.
You guys gave them a 40-piece meal, like a 40-piece family
and,
combo.
We shut them out 44-0. I mean, I will never forget that.
Boston cream donut, yeah.
Ever.
And no, that makes me happy. Like I remember just like watching that, and I got hyped because as a Taft alumni, I'm like, hey, good stuff right there. Shout out to the teammates, out there. And name a few of your favorite. I know I'm pretty sure you have a bunch, but name a few of your like favorite memorable personal highlights playing football along the way in high school. Before Barah answers this question, you guys, the link to his Instagram and his social medias will be in the link in the description of this video. Proceed, my guy.
Appreciate that. So, man, you put me on the spot. All right, I can really think about this one time. You care about when it was, or
it doesn't matter, bro.
To go back on that Lane game, I'm telling you guys, I really do. It's not that I have a problem with Lane. It's just this rivalry. It's gonna live in me forever. I took off for probably my favorite moment of all time was probably taking off. I had like an 80-yard touchdown run, which is the longest of my career so far, against Lane in like the second quarter. But then the thing is, like the series before that, I literally just scored another touchdown. So that little 30 minutes right there was a really fun part, Another time was, let me think. There were a couple of crazy touchdowns that I've had. Let's go. Oh yeah, state playoffs. My first state playoff start. It was like 14-0. Me and the team came back, managed to rail back. I threw a touchdown, twisted my ankle on the same play. Stayed in that game. It was hard and fought. We ended up losing. I know, but that was definitely one of my favorite moments. But I have way too many. We'd be here for like 6 hours if I kept telling you my favorite memories.
No, sure. I'm sorry if I put you on the spot there.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it. Those for sure though, like stick in my mind 100%. Yeah,
absolutely. Now, last episode, I had the Chicago Bear on, Kari Blasinyam, fullback for the Bears.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I asked him if he had any difficulties to picking a college/university where, let's say, he had multiple offers. And he told me a story where he had to decommit from Minnesota because Vanderbilt just attracted him more. He felt like Vanderbilt was the college to go to. Did you have any difficulties before committing to Quincy? Because I feel like, if you did have multiple offers, I'm pretty sure, they were all like, hey, this is what we got to offer, this is what we got to offer. I remember Kari's advice to a lot of the younger guys that are playing football is like, make sure you pick a college that you feel like suits you and that makes sense for you. When you look at the graduation rate, when you look at, the athletics program, the education program, what they offer. So what would you say if you did have any difficulties before picking Quincy?
Well, first off, I finished off my high school career with about, how many offers did I have? I think I had 13. So 13 college offers, God blessed me with that, and I'm forever grateful for that. I will forever not be grateful for that. I showed gratitude to all the coaches after I made my decision, and I just want to make that clear. I appreciate all the coaches who gave me that opportunity, because it's definitely, that shot to play football again, and money on top of that to go to college and continue my career athletically and academically is huge, to get that out the way. But coming down to that final decision was definitely hard. I went some nights where it was hard, just knocking out the schools out of contention.
What were the other programs, if you don't mind me asking? The ones that you felt like, oof, like Quincy and then these other two?
So I had a lot of Division III offers. Quincy was my first Division II offer, and I did end up committing there, not because of just the division, but I felt like I could fit in their scheme the most, and I'm really excited to go down there with those guys. And academically, I feel like they could suit me the most, and my QB coach, Coach B, is definitely one of the coolest guys I've ever met. So to go down there and get recruited by those coaches, I just felt the love when I visited. It was a really easy decision for me personally at the end of it, because when it came down to it, I wanted to commit in about midway through February. I got to commit the third Friday of February. So when that happened, it was just a quick decision for me. I was 3 days before, hey, going to Quincy. Talk with the fam, make sure everyone was okay with it. And, I'm still happy about that decision to this day, and I wouldn't change it. But I did get offers from, you were asking me, I got offers from about Concordia, Chicago, University of Wisconsin, Whitewater, Millikan University, Carthage, and a bunch of those Midwest Division IIIs around the area. I did have a couple Division I and other Division II interests, but that just never came. But I'm still thankful for all the opportunities I got, and I'm happy I'm at Quincy, and I wouldn't change it, bro, for sure.
It's part of the journey. It's part of the journey. You want to start somewhere. You really do want to start somewhere, and it's important that I feel like nowadays, I think a lot of people underestimate the fact of how tough, D1, D2, and even D3 is. Some people whether it's football, basketball, fucking lacrosse.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I do not care what division you're at, and I'll tell you right now, I'm at Division 2. Here, I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm at Division 2. There are some dogs out there. Dogs, bro. I'm telling you right now. Division I players are definitely the best out of there, for sure. Those are the best out of high school. But if you go to Division IIIs, the best Division IIIs in the nation, the best Division IIs in the nation, you're going to find guys who will absolutely decimate Division I guys. And that's just the truth of it. And I'm not even talking about JUCOs. Think about JUCOs, because those guys are usually Division I bounce backs who, had some grade trouble or some stuff going on with
behind the scenes.
Personal level. So a lot of the times those JUCO guys want it more than Division I guys. And I'm not knocking Division I, but a lot of the times there's people who can ball at all levels, and I can guarantee that. So that difference between them is literally just one is on national television, one is on a live stream for the school. That's the only difference between those two, because you're gonna get good football in America. It's America, so. For sure. Yeah,
it's not Canada 100%. Where, not saying that football isn't popular in Canada, but, it's a hockey country.
Canada.
Yeah, because, you have the CFL. But it's
CFL.
Like how you mentioned, Canadian Football League. When you mentioned, no one watches it. Yeah. But when you mentioned, D2 and D3, how there's, some really, good competitive guys. And you could argue, and I remember I spoke to a good friend of mine who trained me, back in the day when I was playing soccer as a goalkeeper. He was D2, and, he told me that, hey, look, D1, sure, those guys are really good,
Yeah.
but D2, D3, I can argue, this quoting him, I can argue these guys are just as good because these are guys that desperately wanted probably to get that D1, and they're scratching and clawing for whatever opportunity they could get. It's like, think of it like, you know, the G League, you know, in current NBA. Like, we think the G League isn't, you know, really all that compared to the NBA, but there's some really good ballers in G League trying to get that NBA contract, trying to get that roster spot. Like,
a lot of times that motivation of being at the lower level is all a guy needs, because think about it. These guys aren't making as much as NBA or NFL or any type of professional sport. The league that's under the farm leagues, they're not making as much. So those guys are trying to not only feed their families, but put themselves on and express to the world how they can compete with the best athletes. So a lot of the times those guys want it more, so you're going to get more out of them. But those other guys, you know, they just got to hand it to them. But I'm not knocking you guys, but a lot of the time those farm leagues have some dogs. Like the XFL, we can't even start on that. A lot of those guys can play. I mean, what was that? What's that guy from Dallas, the kick returner? Dallas is your guys, bro. What's the kick returner from Dallas? I believe he was on the USFL team. I think it was like the MVP. He went to the NFL and completely took over.
The Dallas Renegades kicker?
No.
From the XFL or
the Dallas Cowboys.
Dallas Cowboys
kick returner.
Let me
his name.
I got you right now. Dallas Cowboys.
Little short guy takes off on everyone. What is his name?
There is let's see, kick return specialist. It is Cavante Turpin. Cavante Turpin.
Yep, there we go.
Cavante Turpin, yeah.
That guy came from a farm league from the USFL, one of the best players in that league, got picked up by the Dallas Cowboys, and now is one of their starting kick returners and is completely taken over. You know, so anything, it really branches out to everywhere. So it can go from college, you know, those guys at the lower divisions can compete. And then even so, NFL and professional, those smaller guys in smaller leagues want it. So you can't knock that at all.
And the fact that he ended up to play, you know, I'm not trying to, you know, he ended up playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I you could argue a lot of people that, you know, that would hate on the Cowboys, like, and rightfully so. The fan base is definitely toxic, you know. But
I'm just sad that you're one of them. That's like,
no, I know,
like,
but that's
such a Cowboys fan. It's like, come on, bro. Really, out of all like ones you could have picked, like you're a Bears fan for sure, but Cowboys, bro.
Because I remember, like, I told Kari on the last episode, like, I remember when your brother Hamza put me on with football. I remember my first football game I watched. I believe it was the Cowboys, and I think they were playing the Detroit Lions. And I remember it was that year they had Tony Romo, DeMarco Murray,
they were
Des
good that
Bryant.
Year. Yeah, when you first started, it was like 2016 or something like that. Or something around that time.
Jason Wynn, one of my favorite tight ends.
Good. Okay, I'm not gonna lie.
That was the catch.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. It literally hit the ground though. Okay, well, we can talk about that.
We can talk about it later. But going to my original point, like, you know, to go play for Dallas Cowboys, you know, whether you hate them or not, like, that is a big brand in the football world. Like, even if for some people that would hate on them deep down, if you had the opportunity and Jerry Jones calls like, hey, you want to be a Dallas Cowboy? Like, there's no way you can reject that.
I'm gonna be the biggest boy ever. I'm gonna be one of the boys.
Like, it is the star. You know, I'm not gonna say
that's any football player too. Come on.
I'm not gonna say it's, you know, it's America's team. I'm not gonna say that, but
they're just your team, not our team, bro.
But it does bring that, you know, aura of like, okay, one of America's most watched teams. But like, you can argue that for other, you know, NFL brands, like, you know, the Bears, you know, their history, you know, with defensive players for running backs, you know, unfortunately not quarterbacks.
Dak is mid.
You got other, you know, NFL franchises, you know, like, you know, the recent LA teams, you know, you could argue New England for sure. But yeah, you know, how you said, you know, that feeling of, you know, being at the lower levels, it really does motivate you, really does give you that hunger to really just push you farther. And I wanted to proceed, you know, before we talk about some pro football. What are your, like, you know, goals, you know, coming into Quincy, and, you know, your long-term goals onwards into the next stage, and of course, you know, best of luck to, you know, what's next. Yeah.
Appreciate you, bro. Going into Quincy, I want to start as soon as possible, but, you know, I want to work for that. You know, I'm not going there assuming that I'm going to start or even have the opportunity, but I definitely want to provide myself the opportunity, and I want to showcase, you know, that, you know, I could play at this level and I could play at a high level. I'm feeling really good about myself right now. I'm going there to try to help the team as much as I can, and if I don't start this year, so be it. But, I do plan on that being my goal. And my long-term goals, I honestly want to use my education that I'm getting there that's really discounted to my advantage. And if the opportunity of going to the league or going to any type of pro presents itself, I'll definitely look into that. But we're just taking it one step at a time. So I want to go there, play some football, because that's what I do. That's what I think I'm pretty good at. I'm going to go do that. And see what happens, So I'm betting on myself going this far out and leaving the fam and taking this opportunity. So I'm going there to do it for a reason. And I'm going there hoping that I can really just make something happen.
Right on. And honestly, bro, that's a beautiful and right mentality. Honestly, that is the perfect mentality to have, because a lot of people, you don't want to be too overconfident. And because I think what people need to understand, like I always talk about, football is the ultimate team sport. Like, if you don't start right away, that should be like this hunger for you. And that's also like actually like a pretty good role for you to have in this sense, right? When that starting quarterback, let's say, God forbid, has an injury or concussion, or let's say he's just not having a great season.
Which I never wish that on anyone either. Like the guy who starts next year is the guy. So, and I'm not taking away from that guy, whoever it is going to be, because I haven't met my other quarterbacks in the room officially yet. But I know when I meet them, I'm definitely going to want what's best for the team. So if I go over there, I'm the best guy, cool. If the guy's better than me, I won't admit anyone's ever better than me, but if I think that he's the best fit for the team at that point, I'll definitely, give him his props and help him out. Help him out as much as he can. I'm going to work for that spot. Like that's just me being confident in myself, but not cocky. There's a whole difference in that. Just showing confidence, but still being for the team is something that's huge for a quarterback. So you have to go in there and win it. You have to be the best on the team. So that's what I got to be. Then that's what I got to be, man.
Absolutely. And amen. Right, like I said, right mentality. Yeah. And like I said before, one last thing before we transition to pro football talks, I do want to ask you, is there any last shout outs, thank yous to the Taft program you want to give out? Before
for sure. Quincy, yeah. First off, shout out to my QB coach, Coach Hoff. I mean, that guy, he did a lot for me. He's a huge reason about why I am. He's taught me lessons off the field and on the field. He really shaped me into who I am, and he kind of just gave me the guideline. So, Coach Hoff, if you're watching this, I really do appreciate everything you've done for me from the bottom of my heart. You definitely deserve it. Also, my head coach, Coach Elder, he was with me through this whole recruiting process. Also, just a good guy. Coach Elder's one of the nicest coaches I ever dealt with, but he knows how to put me in my place. Because, how I can be sometimes. He can be out of my place a little bit, just a little shaky. But Coach Elder knows how to put me in my place, and he understands me, and I still appreciate him for that. And just one more shout out for another coach, Coach Novak. Coach Novak's my boy. He really showed me that I can take this far, and he did. So other than that, really, shout out to all my teammates and all the opponents that I played against, and all my friends and family for allowing me to even be in this position. But especially my homies, my homies who gave me a hard time, put me in the right place. I'm not going to name drop them all because there's a lot of them right now, but, shout out to you guys, and especially shout out to Hamza and his older friends, Tariq, Nick, Vladimir, all you guys definitely helped me be where I am because you showed me, you showed me the sport and I fell in love with it. So appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. Love you all.
Absolutely, man. That means a lot, bro. Now let's get into some pro football, man. Let's transition to some pro football.
Don't talk about no Cowboys, Tar.
No.
Please.
No,
please.
We won't talk about America's team.
I'm joking, bro. You can talk about everything.
Let's now transitioning. How do you feel about the Chicago Bears offseason so far, and what should we do this upcoming draft and the remainder of the summer? Now, we actually made some good signings. We've signed, recently running back Devonta Foreman.
Great pickup, by the way.
Defensive tackle, Andrew Billings. We got tight end Robert Tonyan. He's got experience in the league. But the defense specifically, getting, DeMarcus Walker, defensive end. We got Tremaine Edmonds, one of the linebackers. TJ Edwards, and then a bunch of guys. And we now have a solid backup quarterback behind us, Justin Fields, PJ Walker. He's a solid backup to have. Now, how do you feel about the Bears' offseason so far? It seems Ryan Poles, knows what he's doing. We built the right cap space. Now, coming into the draft, what do you think we should go for?
Okay, first off, I'm okay with Northwestern's O-lineman, Peter Skronsky. First off, I hope I'm saying his name right, but I'm okay with him. I really think that he could be a dog. He's a little bit undersized.
And his hands are a bit small.
Yes, his arm length and hands, I heard that they weren't that big, but he's a dog. First off, he's a demon.
But I did hear he could play guard.
Exactly.
He has a little of a hybrid in him. Yeah.
He's a hybrid. We can put him where he wants. Also, I'm very fond of a receiver. I'm okay with a receiver pickup. That might sound crazy, DJ Moore, Claypool, and Mooney, but if we can stack up and make our offense elite, come on, like that's the first time the Bears' offense has been elite for a long time, like very elite. So if we were to go pick up a receiver, that's probably like what I'd want my third option to be. Second option, I'd probably go with what's that guy from Georgia's name? Georgia's Jalen Carter.
Jalen Carter.
Is it Jalen Carter?
It might be.
Jalen Carter out of Georgia. D tackle, the one who had all those problems with that the recent passing of the Georgia.
Nolan Smith. It was Nolan Smith.
Is it Nolan Smith?
Nolan Smith.
No,
yeah.
That's a whole other guy, bro. That's a different guy.
He's part of the defensive line, though. He's part of the defensive line.
Yeah. I'm talking about, I think it's Jalen Carter. That's his name.
Jalen Carter. Yeah, it is Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Jalen Carter. I'd be okay with that pickup. But the thing is Jalen Carter, you're kind of taking like a chance on him. Because he can either be like a once in a lifetime type of athlete, because he hasn't been, his character wise and stuff off the field has been shaking up his recruiting for the NFL draft. But if we skip on this guy and he what are we, 9 right now? If he falls to like 16, 17 or something like that, and he gets picked up and has a monster career, it's kind of like one of those what if moments. Like, pretty sure it was Randy Moss. Remember that whole thing with that whole situation? I'm pretty sure he fell to like 21 or 7. He fell really low. So for him to fall down that low, I don't want us to be in the same situation like, oh, what if, bro? Like, we passed on him. So I'm okay with those 3. I'd go lineman, O-line, because that's definitely what we need to have.
Sure. I think that's our main priority.
A good offense, for sure. Number 1, O-line. Number 2, make our defensive line elite. And then number 3, a receiver. I would be okay with a receiver.
And when you look at the Bears, like
Jackson Smith from Ohio, like
that's another good. That's a
very good pick.
That's another good shout. Yeah. And when I think about the Bears and their offensive line situation, you look at Justin Fields.
Yeah.
He has the talent, but when I've seen Bears games, it's like I get worried sometimes because our offensive line, like, not to downplay it, but to keep it real, it's so bad. Like, sometimes, like, when I watch the football game and Justin Fields is like scrambling, like, it's literally like the other defense is like playing tag with him. Like, they are chasing him all over the field. And I get worried because, I don't know if you remember, the Bengals' offensive line in Joe Burrow's rookie season was horrendous. And what happened? Joe Burrow had that ACL injury.
Built around him, exactly. Like, Justin Fields, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Justin's my boy. I was very happy when we picked him up. I was very happy that we moved up and did what we had to do to get him. But
probably our best quarterback we ever had already.
For sure. But the thing is if we build around him and we put the team we need to put and he doesn't give us what we need, okay, then we could start. Because people were already kind of counting him out after this season, but you got to look at it. We didn't have a team. We were the worst record in football.
Our best weapon was Montgomery.
And which is what? He's gone now. He's with the Lions. So if we build around him, if we give him O-line, we gave him some receivers. Now we're just missing an O-line. If we give him the tools and he doesn't give us the product, all right, we might
start making that verdict.
Exactly. So after this season, if we build around him, no excuses. No excuses. If Justin Fields does what he has to do, then I'm okay with it. Like, he has to perform this year. And he's already coming into the NFC as one of the top-rated quarterbacks. I mean, people have him rated under Jalen Hurts right now? I believe he's like number 2 on everyone's polls right now, maybe number 3.
Coming into next season, yeah.
Since when do the Bears have a good quarterback? I mean, my whole life I've gone through mediocre quarterbacks from Jay Cutler to Grossman when I was 6 years old. And, we went to the Super Bowl with a mid quarterback. How does that even happen? When was the last team to do that?
It's been a long time since we had a legit quarterback. And, like, when you look at the Bears, I never thought, like, in our past few years in recent memory, like, it was really, like, quarterback wasn't the only issue, I feel like. I felt like the other issue I felt was also lack of, offensive weapons. But I feel like we've addressed that with our receiving core.
I'm gonna just add this in. We didn't have a plan.
We didn't really have a plan. No,
we never had a plan for the first time. I'm 18 years old. Okay, I've been a Bears fan for 18 years. Let's just say that. Okay. Since when do we know where we're going?
We now have a direction.
We were shaky about Poles when you got rid of Roquan and all those other big things. We're like, okay, he better have a plan. He better know what to do with this. He started off free agency. Beautiful. That DJ Moore pickup was awesome. First off, just to add that in.
And Tremaine Edmonds.
Oh, man. Beautiful.
Pro Bowler.
It started to get a little mid. Like, I'd give us like maybe a C plus B minus grade right now without the draft. The draft is in about, a week from now?
It's around the corner.
It's around the corner. So the draft is huge for us this year. I want to see what we do. I've seen some people say we're even going to trade up or trade down. We might get another trade in. I don't know how that's going to work.
And you look at the Bears' current weapons, our receiving core, Darnell Mooney.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney's like a nice little deep threat. DJ Moore, a nice little deep threat. And then Chase Claypool. Claypool is he's like a Swiss Army knife. He's one of those guys. He's like how do I put it? He's like one of those guys like a red zone type receiver. He'll get you those short yardages that you need.
The thing with Claypool on top of that is he didn't have an offseason with Justin.
Now he does.
Exactly, because he came, week 7? He got traded week 6. He came in week 7 or something like that. He didn't look horrible. He had some questionable games where, he didn't really do jack. But, if he gets that whole what's it called? If he gets that whole offseason with Justin, it's going to be a problem. And I'm really excited for him.
And also, I really like, I do like the potential in our running back core. I know Montgomery isn't there anymore, but I've always felt like, I don't know what it was. I just felt like he just really didn't suit our direction. So I felt like it was best I went to Detroit. And this might sound like a hot take. I've always I don't know what it was. I've liked Khalil Herbert a little more than Montgomery because I've seen games where Herbert really changed the tides for us.
Herbert was he was the what's that? Robin to our Batman. He was underappreciated, because Montgomery has some games for sure, 100%. Herbert was always on a steady trail. I mean, did Herbert really have any bad games when he was in?
He really didn't have a bad game. He was really
so steady. So if you were to put him in the starting role and actually put him in the roster and have him actually get real reps that, not saying that he didn't get real reps back then, but to get starting reps, hopefully, that might be big because he doesn't know how it feels to be running back 1. So if there were a couple games where Montgomery was out and he was a starter, but the true one, the set running back 1 from day 1, we don't know what's going to happen. So
absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely. Now, you being a quarterback, you're transitioning to the quarterback talk. Who are your current top 5 quarterbacks right now in the NFL? And a second question upon this question, who are a few young quarterbacks you feel will rise up in that conversation in a few years? For example, a Trevor Lawrence or who we just talked about, like a Justin Fields. I'll let you give your top 5 first right now.
Top 5 right now?
And base it off.
You want to ranked or just throw them out there?
Ranked.
Okay, let's go Pat first. Pat first, for sure.
Pat first.
Pat Mahomes is unbelievable. We'll go Joe Burrow second. I really like Lamar. I mean, I'm a dual threat quarterback. I believe that I'm a dual threat quarterback, and just watching Lamar go do that at a high level really does. Lamar at 3. 4. I like Kyler Murray. Except all that video game talk and how he's always on Call of Duty. Kyler Murray's a dog. Simple as that. Number 5. Oh man, who am I missing? Name drop some. I want to hear some.
I'm surprised they name drop Josh Allen.
Okay. Hold on.
I was
let's go. Josh 3. Oh my God, I forgot that guy existed for some reason. Josh Allen 3.
He plays at Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the middle of Buffalo. Sorry, Josh. Josh Allen, you're a dog. Honestly, Josh Allen and Joe Burrow are interchangeable for me. Actually, that whole first 3 is interchangeable.
You could put anyone anywhere.
Mahomes, Burrow, and Josh, they pick and choose when they want to be good. I'm going to be honest with you. When they want to be star-studded, they're all star-studded. They can be interchangeable. I completely forgot about Josh Allen, though. I'm going to go Pat Mahomes, Burrow, Josh, Lamar, and 5, I got to go my boy Justin. Just because. Kyler, I'm sorry, but you got kicked out for Josh Allen.
Number 1, I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Joe.
Really?
Joe
You're
Burrow.
taking Shiesty Joe out of second?
I'm putting Joe Burrow third. And like I said,
Josh Allen is a different breed, though. Like, he's way too big to be hurdling people out there. I'm going to be honest with you. On top of his strong arm, like, as a quarterback, I can recognize when someone is, like, different.
That's my 3.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4, Lamar Jackson. And number 5,
If you say Dak, we will have to throw hands.
I know it's not Dak Prescott. He's an honorable mention. It is not
honorable mention.
He's an honorable mention.
Honestly, bro, okay,
he's like 8th or 9th.
You guys are paying him like $1 million jajillion, and he's giving you what, 1 playoff appearance?
No, but for number 5, all right. But for number 5, I'm actually putting Justin Herbert. I'm putting Justin Herbert.
I don't have a problem with that.
I think
very young.
I think what he's shown so far in a sus Chargers situation, and I think some of those losses aren't entirely on him, because I think the Chargers defense, although it is improved in recent memory, it's always been a bit shaky. And now what's even more interesting is with reports that Eckler might leave. Austin Eckler is possibly seeking a move out of the Chargers.
I wanted us to pick up Eckler.
Now, if we're able to pick up, because we were linked to the Eckler moves. We were linked to the Eckler rumors, but
we did just pick up, what's his name? Oh, man, I'm forgetting his name.
Foreman.
Al Foreman. Yep. Foreman from Panthers? Was it the Panthers?
I believe it was the Panthers, yeah.
Was it?
I believe. I could do some research on that, yeah. But when you look at the quarterback landscape, and like I asked earlier about like the upcoming young quarterbacks, now it is weird, I don't want to say Tennessee.
Oh, Tennessee, there we go. But he did play on the Panthers, though. He did.
But when you look at it, the quarterback landscape, specifically the younger ones, like it's actually very interesting, because Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray. I mentioned Trevor Lawrence earlier. I think Trevor Lawrence last year had a very, very good season. I think a lot of people gave him some unfair hate after that first
comeback?
year.
Oh my God, the comeback?
Because I think it was so wrong of how the media quickly jumped on that whole Jacksonville situation, because Urban Meyer was just super toxic. What he did.
Urban Meyer is an NFL coach, man.
What he caused,
stayed in college.
What he caused for Jacksonville was just. It was just so bad on Trevor Lawrence, and culture matters a lot. If you don't have like the right culture in any sort of organization, it's just not going to work well. But I think the next 2-3 young quarterbacks to slide into that top 5 conversation will be Fields, will be Trevor Lawrence, and I've always been a bit iffy on Kyler, but I also think he could slide in that conversation.
Is Kyler young though?
I mean, he's in his mid-20s. He's not like...
Is he like 27?
Early mid-20s. He's in his early mid-20s. Now...
I don't know. I wouldn't put him as like up and coming, because he's been there. He's been doing what he's doing for a long time.
I feel like he's been there, but he hasn't like taken that next step.
He hasn't... He's... Okay, don't get me wrong. Kyler's top 10. I almost put him in my top 5. But like the Joe Burrows,
he's definitely better than Tua.
The Mahomes is like, oh yeah, Tua's good. Tua's very good.
It's just a concussion issue concerns me.
Yeah, it's very concerning. And like, hot take, Tua's like good, but just is Tua great? Is Tua Aaron Rodgers? Is Tua? Oh, we didn't mention Aaron Rodgers at all, but he's lucky. Last season was weird. It was sussy.
It was very suspect. We're gonna get to Aaron Rodgers in a moment. I do want to ask about
Aaron Rodgers. Is kind of weird too, and I don't like the Packers, so I
do want to transition
for you, buddy.
And I do want to transition to that. Outside of the Bears, what has been the biggest surprise for you this offseason so far in the NFL outside the Bears? And honestly, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, me personally, now it's not official yet, but him wanting to go to New York Jets is huge. But I think. It is the right move.
That's been in talks for like a month now, bro. Are they doing it or no?
But I think that is a right move for Aaron Rodgers, and here's why. Because the Jets, when you look at the Jets last season, defense was good. Their offense showed promise. Like, first off, when your team not only has the defensive rookie of the year last year, but an offensive rookie of the year last year, that shows a lot right there with the youth development they got going there. Their defensive line is good. They can protect the quarterback. They're really good. All the Jets need is a quarterback, and I think the Jets somewhat have like a similar.
Zach Wilson sold them.
Sold them.
If Zach Wilson was remotely good, like he had some plays in the NFL, but dude, you're not and there's this saying by Zach Wilson. He's like, oh yeah, whatever quarterback they bring in, I'm gonna give him hell. I'm like, bro, you're not giving Aaron Rodgers help, buddy. You're not. As simple as that.
Mike White played better than you.
Yeah,
Mike White.
He's one of those quarterbacks where coming out of college, everyone thinks he's the next Tom Brady, but he's just a really good in college. I mean, it happens. Like there's a lot of quarterbacks who were crazy in college. Like hot take, Marcus Mariota was pretty good, but I think that he was better in college.
He was very good in Oregon.
Yeah, he
very
won.
Good.
He won Heisman. So
he was very good.
I think he's more of a college quarterback than he is NFL. Like he had a pretty decent career. What is he still? He's still with the Falcons right now, right?
What's the Falcons? Yeah.
What are you gonna do with Marcus Mariota? He's not giving you no chip.
He's not.
Why are you picking up Marcus Mariota as a quarterback? No offense to you, bro, but you're not winning. You're not winning a Super Bowl,
and that's nothing against it whatsoever
at all.
And but yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers picking the Jets, I just think that's like the perfect situation now. We still have to see if it's going to be all official, finalized. Yeah. But I got another big surprise before I let you have a crack at this. I think, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a surprise, but the behind-the-scenes context behind which I feel like some people missed was Derek Carr going to the Saints. Because what some people forgot was one of Devontae Adams' key reasons going to Vegas
was for Derek Carr.
Because they play in Fresno State.
Yep.
And then not even after a year in, all right, I'm going to go to New Orleans.
8 months, bro.
And Devontae's like, dude.
That situation, he wasn't wanted, though. He wasn't wanted. I mean, are you going to stay somewhere you're not wanted? It's like having some friends that don't like you and you're staying in the group.
Let me ask you this. Do you think Derek Carr is top 10?
Top 10?
I feel like he's like 9th, 10th. Like, Dak is like 10. Derek Carr is 9. That's interchangeable.
All right, Dak isn't 10. Dak is 32. I'm sorry.
No.
Dak is so bad.
No.
I hate him so much. I hate Dak Prescott. I'm sorry. I don't see the hype around. First off, my Dak Prescott slander will stay with me forever. Dak Prescott, I do not care if you win a Super Bowl. You are still the worst quarterback in existence. I'm sorry. Nothing against him. Good guy, but I just don't like you as a quarterback and the franchise you play for. Let's go Derek Carr. I'm putting him top 15. He hasn't done anything.
I think.
But he'll have games like, you remember that like 60-point shootout with the Chiefs a couple years ago? Like, he'll have games like that, but then he'll have games where he throws you 5 completions out of 16 throws.
I feel like,
what are you doing, bro?
I feel like, and the reason why I threw in Dak in there, because I feel like they somewhat both have a similar similar.
All seriousness, Dak Prescott and Derek Carr are kind of on the same pedestal.
And here's why I think you might agree with me on this point, because I feel like both quarterbacks have this. It's not necessarily they lack skill. It's an execution factor, because when you're a quarterback, it's like, for example, basketball. We all know James Harden is a fantastic player, but come playoff time, James Harden always chokes when the spotlight gets bright.
Playoff season coming up, like
that's to be very interesting. We might touch on that this episode. But Dak Prescott and Derek Carr. Now, Dak Prescott has 2-3 playoff wins. I believe he has 3. But with Derek Carr and Dak Prescott, it's similar situations where when it matters most, when you feel like the team has the advantage, it just doesn't turn out well because it'll probably be on them. They're like, for example, like you said, Derek Carr, he'll have like a 60-point shootout. He'll have a game where he throws for 400 yards, completes like 20, 25, 28 or whatever. Then the next game he'll complete like 6 for 30 and then throw for like 100 yards. Doesn't even do much. And another thing about the Raiders thing, what shocked me about this offseason, Darren Waller's not there anymore. He's on the Giants now. Darren Waller.
Oh my God, that kind of slipped. I saw that on my Insta. But
Darren Waller. You know what's funny?
That wasn't big enough. That should have been bigger than what it was. Darren Waller is on the same pedestal as Travis Kelce. 100%.
The potential for sure.
Oh my God, dude, he just got drafted like what, 3 years ago? What is he? He's a junior in the NFL, right?
He's like a junior right now. Yeah, and what's funny about the Darren Waller thing? I don't know if some people knew about this. I think you might know about this. I forgot the Las Vegas Aces player's name, but he married to a WNBA player that.
Yeah, he is. It's that white girl. What's her name?
That played for the Las Vegas Aces, and she's a good player too. I could look her up, but.
Cool.
But what's funny was
wife is pretty raw.
Not even a couple hours after the wedding, Darren gets traded to the Giants.
He did get traded on his wedding day, didn't he?
Basically on his wedding day.
Wow.
And then Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum is the name of the player.
Yeah.
Kelsey tweeted at the Raiders organization.
Y'all could have waited a day or so. She said she posted some slick stuff. I forgot what it was.
She was like, "Oh,
something slick."
He's mad that he didn't get invited to the wedding.
Yeah. She name dropped the owner or something like that.
I believe it was a head coach.
I believe it was either the head coach or the owner. Yeah, I saw that. It was along those lines.
And that's crazy. So now Devontae Adams, he's not on this only line. Like, damn, I left Aaron to come all the way here.
Where's Devontae gonna go? Wait. The Raiders picked up Garoppolo.
I mean.
But Garoppolo's like mid. Shout out Mr. Roberto.
Jimmy G is a Chicago native, isn't he?
Yeah, he went to Eastern Illinois. He grew up actually around this area.
There was a meme where he said, "Fuck the Packers."
He went to what high school did he go to? He's an Illinois native. Jimmy Garoppolo's decent. Is he gonna win you a Super Bowl? No. He went to the Super Bowl.
You know what he
knows how to get there because Tom Brady is his father.
I don't think here. How I put it this way, Jimmy Garoppolo is a good quarterback, but not in a, how do I put it this way? He's not gonna be. Let's say you win the Super Bowl with him, right? Mm-hmm. He's not gonna be the sole reason you win He's not gonna be the sole reason you win the Super Bowl. It's to be because of the system, like the defense, the offense is trying to with. He's more of like a system quarterback.
Of course,
he's not like a Josh Allen or Mahomes that could like put you on his back, like, okay, we're going here.
Mahomes won a Super Bowl on a bum ankle. You know, Garoppolo's not doing that, but Garoppolo's giving you 64 checkdowns in a game and averaging 150 yards with 2 touchdowns, and both the touchdowns are off swing passes to the running back. Like Jimmy Garoppolo come out with some crazy plays sometimes, but he's a system quarterback and he's not going to give you anything crazy. So.
Exactly. Now, what would you say was your biggest surprise of the offseason?
I'd say that Aaron is even like considering the Jets. I mean, I kind of see why.
The potential,
As a Jets fan, do you want a 40-year-old quarterback? What is he, 38 right now?
I believe he's 38. I believe he's 39.
Like, he's a 38-year-old quarterback. It's Aaron Rodgers, but...
38 plus.
Yeah, he is old. But do you want a quarterback that's that old? Like, personally, if I was a Jets fan, I'd be a little thrilled, but you have to have a quarterback that's like Aaron Rodgers left Jordan Love with the Packers. Jordan Love has been under Aaron Rodgers for about 2, maybe 3 years now.
I think some people are sleeping on Jordan Love. That's another young quarterback. Who knows?
I don't like the Packers, but Jordan Love is a dog. I'm not gonna lie. You guys might have another Tom Brady kind of story in there because you know how Tom Brady was under Drew Bledsoe that whole time. Like you might have.
Drew Bledsoe was a good quarterback.
Oh yeah, he's very good. Like those old quarterbacks were.
But I think Jets fans are thrilled with Aaron Rodgers
because they've had bad quarterbacks
for years, but it's not even just that. It's the aspect.
A good quarterback to even be happy about it, like.
But it's the aspect like you're in New York, and like, look, nothing against New York people. Like you could argue they're just as bad as the Dallas Cowboys fan base. Like New York in general, like Yankees, the Knicks, the Nets, like it's just bad. It is just bad. Like it really.
New York has been in a rough patch.
Yeah, it's been a rough patch, and I know there's some good fans out there, but the others they really like boil my blood. But I think they're really thrilled about Aaron because he's this big name, like, you know, coming on Broadway. It's New York City, but their plan B, and I said this before too because I read a report. If you don't get Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron was mid this year.
If you don't get Aaron Rodgers, and I've seen reports about this, and honestly, I'd rather go get him. Your plan B should be Lamar Jackson. Go get Lamar Jackson because you put Lamar Jackson on that Jets team. He's younger. He's gonna get his money. It's a big market for him.
Are the Jets gonna pay him?
I mean,
do the Ravens even want to let him go? Personally, if I was Lamar Jackson, I would probably just go on Twitter and just say F the Ravens just so they could drop me. Because to be on a team, like bro, it's like having friends that don't like you. You know? It's like, bro, they don't like you at all. Why are you even here? Like, at that point, you're just leave. There. Like, get out of here. Like, bro, take your money and leave, bro. It's like Lamar took money from them, and then like, it's a stupid situation. Lamar has to leave the Ravens. He has to get out.
Yes, he has.
Like, get out.
1 billion %. Now. Moving on, you know, from pro football and sports, that was definitely a good conversation. Yeah. But before we proceed to the next segment, which is a new segment on the show, which I'm excited.
Oh wow! New segment for Barah. Okay, all right, I like that.
Now, who are your super early Super Bowl favorites? Super early, like.
Ooh. All right. First off, the Bears. All right. I don't care what you say. We're always Super Bowl contenders every year. I don't care. And so until we're playoff ineligible, we're gonna be Super Bowl contenders, and that's just the Chicago kid in me. But anyway, on a serious note, I like
I'm
the
not mad
Chiefs.
at that.
Why not the Chiefs? Like, throw the Chiefs in there. The Chiefs are going to be your top 3 always. I'm sorry. If Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce on your team, the Chiefs. Who else? You got any?
I was going to say doubt. No, I'm kidding.
No,
There's no way. They broke my heart. But I will say this. I didn't want to talk about this one guy, Micah Parsons. Now, that guy is different.
You guys got a dog in him.
That he is
young.
different.
He just got drafted like 2 years ago.
And he's already like...
He's top. He's up there.
Now...
what is he, outside linebacker?
Now, what I do want to say is this. Now, my personal Super Bowl favorites, I'm going to say, obviously the Chiefs, championship DNA.
Yeah.
Buffalo. I'm going to throw Buffalo in there.
Do the Bills have enough, though, to win it?
Well, remember, we still have this remainder of the offseason, so if they can add like another player or two,
if they get another star-studded player, the Bills are serious. Like serious talks.
No, for sure. I think there are a couple pieces away. You could throw Cincy in there because of the youth. And look, I want to say Philly because, they really have potential, but they just lost some key players. So we still have to see how Philly's going to do it. And that's another guy I feel like we should have talked about earlier in the top 5, Jalen Hurts. But I think it's a bit too soon. He's like 6'7" in that top 10. I think he's right there. I don't think he's just there yet. I know he just went to Super Bowl.
But we didn't get into our top 10. I'd say Jalen Hurts is like number 7, right? Is he, though?
He's there. He's on the border. He's on the border. He's like, how you're trying to like, you know how you're about to hop a fence, but you can't fully get over the fence. You're like halfway.
I feel like you can't jump fences, Tarek. I don't know.
No, I've tried.
I don't feel like
I can't jump fences. I just rolled my ankles a bunch of times. But no, it's just like he'll be like halfway on the fence, and he's just not fully there yet over the fence. He's right
Jalen
there.
Hurts is so close to being.
He's right
like
there though.
Elite level. I think the only thing that's holding Jalen Hurts back is Jalen Hurts like, man, he's like a weird player. Like Pat Mahomes will give you the craziest game you've ever seen in your life and win the game. I feel like Jalen Hurts was just like go out there, sling the ball a couple times, and you guys win as a team. Like
he doesn't have that pizzazz.
The Eagles were. You don't need the pizzazz all the time. Did Tom Brady have the pizzazz? I mean, sometimes, but Tom Brady was a fundamental guy. But Jalen Hurts is just like he's a weird build because he can run on you, but does he really use it? Like his team is really good. Does he have to take over games?
I see what you're saying.
Like it's like you have a really good team. Does your quarterback need to give you 500 yards?
You have a few question marks on him, and rightfully so.
I mean, he's up in the air.
Rightfully so. Hey, that was good. That was a good conversation about that.
Sure.
And maybe we could get you on the sports podcast. Chop up some more football and, of course, NBA playoffs. But now into the news segment, ladies and gentlemen, a part of Deep Depth, random tidal waves. So here's how this works, right, you guys? So random tidal waves, basically each and every new episode, Barah being the first guest a part of this news segment, I bring up random news headlines I've seen over the past couple weeks that I really felt caught my eye. And we're going to talk about how random it is. So the first one, there was a pilot on his way, I believe it was to Johannesburg, and during the flight, he found a cobra under his seat in the cockpit of the plane where he was flying. Yes. So in the reports, he said, I felt this little cold sensation. That didn't sound right. Underneath my shirt where my hip is situated. But basically, where you've got your little love handles, he tells NPR. When he looked down,
so like right here, the
pilot was surprised to see a highly venomous Cape Cobra under his seat. Now, how venomous is this thing? Now, I looked up I did my research on a Cape Cobra. When a Cape Cobra bites you, it takes about an hour max for you to be poisoned, for the poison to run through your body, and you're just out.
You got to suck it out. So you gotta suck the venom out of it to survive. You have to suck the venom out.
Well, I think there's like needles for that. I think they have like other methods of doing it. But if you want to put it that way, yeah, sure.
You have to suck it out, dude.
But if you want to put it that way, yeah.
If you're in the wilderness and I get bit on my love handles, you're sucking this venom out, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, Tarek. Tarek. I'm not dying just because you want to have a little bit of pride, buddy. All right. I do the same for you. You're doing the same for me, buddy. All right. I'm just letting you know.
Well, okay.
I do it for all my friends.
Okay, well, Well, the pilot Erasmus
with that one. He doesn't know what to say.
I generally don't know what to say.
Right.
But pilot Erasmus felt the slithering stowaway as he was piloting a private flight from South Africa's Western Cape to the northeastern town of Nelspruit. I apologize if I mispronounced that wrong. And he said, as I turned to my left and looked down, I could see the head of the snake receding back underneath my seat.
Whoa,
at which point there was a point of stunned
How?
silence, to be brutally honest. And he then informed my passengers of what was going on, but everybody remained calm, he recounted. Now, here's a fucked up thing, right? They're going to emergency landing, but it took them another 2 hours to do that emergency
Did
landing.
he get bit?
He didn't get bit. So that must have been the most intense 2 hours,
hell yeah.
the remaining 2 hours of your life.
mean-
Because at any moment, imagine as you're landing, as you're about to land, he finally bites you.
I mean, how the hell did the snake get through TSA? That's my real question.
I think, you know what it is? I think with certain airports and the TSA isn't as crazy as it is in the United States. I also believe, with cargo situations.
How the hell did it get in the cockpit? Is that what it's called? The cockpit?
The cockpit of the
How?
plane. I believe it could have been through the cargo. With the bags and stuff, it
mean-
might have slithered through the cargo up all the way to the
Dude.
cockpit before the passengers.
Under the pilot's seat, out of all seats, bro. Come on.
That's crazy.
No, that was planted for sure.
No,
it had to be planted.
No, it's crazy, and the fact that it didn't.
What are you
bite
doing
you,
in that situation as a pilot? I'm gonna be honest. I have a bunch of people's lives are in my hands. Driving the plane. But if there's a snake, people are dying. I'm just letting you know because I'm running away. I'm not. There's no way I'm gonna be around that snake.
Well, here's the thing about snakes, and I'm not trying to sound like a Joe Rogan right now. But the thing with snakes is I'm from Bosnia. I see a lot of snakes out there.
And Chicago, there's snakes around here too. I mean, people.
I see what he did there.
Hey, you gotta watch out, man.
You gotta watch out. But nah, it was like. What you want to be careful of snakes is you don't want to make it because they're like territorial type animals.
Yeah.
You don't want to piss them off. It's like
sure
a bee.
if you just stand still, don't make any sudden movements. Why would a snake even want to mess with you? Because what do snakes? Do snakes want to eat us? Can they?
And that's the thing.
Like
they
unless
don't,
it's like a python, that. Oh my God, that movie with Morgan Freeman. With the snake, how to get these damn snakes on the plane? Goddamn snakes!
literally that
it was
situation.
the same situation, yeah.
Literally that situation.
I mean, but why didn't the pilot? I mean, because there's an autopilot. Literally, there's an autopilot that
just put on iPod. Just
literally, why didn't he do that? Handle the snake, throw the snake out the plane.
Oh, that's
or
a tall
put it in
order,
put it in like a bucket or something. You really telling me you can't find somewhere to put a snake, bro? At that point, those type of stories like that, people just aren't using their mind. Because if I was a pilot of the plane, that snake would have been handled in about 3 minutes, and it would have been literally done for.
But the thing with snakes, I was gonna mention, they're like you said, they don't prefer to go after humans. They only go after humans if you possess a threat.
Exactly, a threat. Aren't they predators? Are snakes predators?
Technically,
yeah, right.
Rattlesnakes. Rattlesnakes, the thing about rattlesnakes, they give you that signal when you approach a rattlesnake. Let's say, a rattlesnake, you piss off a rattlesnake. That's when it starts to rattle its tail. Like, hey, don't get near me,
exactly,
or I'm gonna bite your ass.
That shit is scary, dude. I do not like snakes at all. Like, snakes are like top 5 worst things ever. Like, it's
bro, they're awful. They're awful. I do not want to deal with snakes. But yeah. That was definitely random. That was definitely like a random tidal wave.
Random tidal wave, baby.
But now on to the next one. The stolen red spoon, part of Dairy Queen franchise logo. It was stolen in the state of Arizona. Yes, someone stole the spoon. Hear this out. So
the red spoon.
Now here's how
on the store's thing, like.
It's like this little, and I'll get into the story. And you know what? I'll first get into how it was found before how it was stolen.
Okay.
You know how it was found? I can't believe this game is still played. They didn't mention the full name in this article. Foster, who, according to this article, he found it while playing Pokemon Go. Yes, I am not making this up. He found it while playing Pokemon
Go. Was he a
nerd? While he was out, probably, while hunting for his next great catch. When he made a rare discovery of a different kind of a giant, a 15-foot long red spoon that happened to be missing from a local Dairy Queen. Now, the way it was stolen was, according to surveillance video, it was a trio. It was 3 people manipulating with the screws of the spoon. And as he took off the spoon, they somehow loaded onto the truck and drove away.
What?
And now this spoon is, I guess you could say, is like a local, I don't want to say monument because that sounds so ridiculous. It's like a cool spot for you to take a picture at. And the owners,
Or are you talking about like a big ass spoon?
like a big Dairy Queen red spoon.
Oh, like that they put on the signs. How the fuck do they steal that?
Basically, they manipulated with the screws
And then put it on their truck and drove off.
and they drove off. And
What did they do with it?
I have no idea. I don't know if it was to like sell it somewhere, like for
Who's
profit.
gonna buy a big ass spoon?
Now, here's a funny thing though, right? The couple of the restaurant, the Puja family, they said the couple reported the theft to Phoenix police at the time, who Foss originally
I mean, of course, it's happening in Phoenix. What are you gonna do in Phoenix?
Here's the thing,
what is
right?
there to do in Nashville, Phoenix? Like, what is Phoenix in Nashville?
No.
What?
No.
No, Nashville's in Arizona.
No.
Where's Nashville?
Tennessee.
No way.
Tennessee.
No, because
I think Quincy might have a couple concerns.
wait,
But-
hold on. Where's Nashville?
Nashville's in Tennessee.
Wait, Nashville's not in Phoenix?
Tennessee Titans. Nashville.
Where'd I get Nashville from then?
I don't
You
know.
know what I'm thinking about? You know what it is? Okay, I'm gonna tell you my exact thought process right now. You might think I'm stupid watching this right now. Nashville, chicken. Okay, when you think of the chicken, what color is chicken that's hot? Red. What's red? Phoenix, because of the suns and how it's hot
You
outside.
could also
So
argue
I connected those. I'm not joking. That's how I connected that in my head. That's how I think that Nashville, Phoenix, and all that is all one.
Yeah, if I was
I'm
Quincy,
sorry about
I'm
that,
revisiting this.
but that's my exact thought process. And hey, I'm gonna stick with it. So.
And now the couple reported that if they were to get another spoon made, delivered, installed, which they would estimate it would have cost them over $7,000 to get
spoon?
it for a spoon. Yes,
Fuck no, bro. At that point, just take it.
and I'm glad they found it. I'm glad that they found it.
just-
You didn't have to pay $7 grand for
re-add
another
it.
freaking red spoon. And now another new segment of part of the
Wow.
show. We got
Double
two new
new
segments,
segment?
bro.
Okay.
Shallow end, deep end conspiracy theories.
Ooh,
now
wow.
we're gonna talk about some conspiracy theories. Now the first one is the Earth flat. Now flat Earth conspiracy theories first arose around the 1950s and have been
how?
given new life in recent
There's
memory.
people in space right now telling us that it's not. I mean, but they could be lying.
Now, here's some history lessons. The
problem with
Greeks
that.
even figured out the planet's circumference in the 3rd century. Since then, astronauts have launched into the space.
There's a way. There's a way for you to. I don't know how specifically, but like back then they used to like think it's something like water or something like you. I don't know what they do, but
They had a bunch of things going on back in the day. But here's why flat earthers, flat earth believers, I can't, flat earthers. Here's why flat earth believers believe that the earth is flat. It's because the line between the earth and the sky looks pretty flat. So they figure all the rest of the evidence gets tossed out the window. So they feel how it looks flat in the sky, that we're walking on pure flat surface, which I can't blame them for thinking that. But at the end of the day, like, when you look at the globe isn't flat. When you've seen pictures outside of Earth, it's not flat. So I don't know where this comes from, but it is weird. It is weird.
it's like, dude, flat Earth. How does that even make sense? I mean, okay, wait, because they could be lying to us. You know, like the Freemasons. and
Well,
stuff?
I don't want to think they're lying to us.
No, they're lying, bro. Dude, come on.
Are you saying the Earth is possibly flat?
No, but how do we know it's round?
We've seen pictures. We've seen the globe.
Okay, first off, it's
from
a
outer
sphere.
space.
Isn't it a sphere? That's what it is. It's not a circle. It's a sphere.
I never said it was a circle. But I'm saying
round.
when you
The
go
Earth
up
is
to
round.
when you go up to the globe of Earth, you're not called, oh, look at the sphere. It's a globe.
It's like, but the thing is if it's a sphere, how do we like stand on it? You know, like how does that work? Think about it. Because wouldn't we be like slanted a little bit? Am I tweaking? I play football. I've taken a lot of hits to the head. So if you're questioning me, you know.
I'm questioning the Nashville thing earlier. I'm still
The
questioning it.
Nashville thing makes sense.
No,
Tarek.
it doesn't.
Listen, Nashville hot chicken tenders. What do you think of the color red? What is the color red?
But Phoenix is
Hot.
also orange and
hot.
purple.
What is hot? Phoenix. What is in Phoenix? The Suns. What else is in Phoenix? Bro, when you think of Phoenix, what color do you think of? Be honest with me.
Orange.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense too. Orange and red. That's the same.
The
That's
desert.
the same shit.
No, oh my god.
Yes, it is. Orange and red, Tarek. How do you think you make red?
I should have asked what was the hardest sack that you had in football. Maybe that must have like.
Oh man, I take some hits.
Like
man.
no, but back to the flat Earth thing. Like fuck that discussion for a second. But flat Earth. Like let's put this conspiracy theory to bed. Now here it is. Shallow end, meaning not much to talk about. Deep end, it should be continued down the line. So shallow end or deep end? I think it's a shallow end.
Shallow.
It's not going
that's
anywhere.
Just stupid. Like Kyrie thought that the Earth was flat for a couple seconds, and then it kind of just got dead. That's like a 2017 question, though.
One for sure. But I feel like it's still brought up every now and then. Now the next one, and now there's a lot of this from the famous show The Simpsons with their conspiracy theories.
Don't get me started on that, bro.
And it messes up my head
it's
because
so crazy. It's so crazy. It literally still happens to this day. I'm pretty sure they had one like recently, and it's like. Go ahead, introduce it to the people that don't know about it. Because
so Simpsons have had a bunch of of these there's a lot of these conspiracy theories because the Simpsons basically people say predict the future, and some people had this theory where the writers aren't the writers that were displayed. It's actually these mastermind people that actually plot this out for the future, and I kind of think that's a bit far fetched. But here's how I see it. Right, you could also think of it this way. Right, for example. Like one of the few predictions that Simpsons made, it was when Disney bought Fox, 20th Century Fox.
They did do that.
Now that was an episode. It was season 10, episode 5. The episode title.
Season 10 was like in the 90s, wasn't it?
It was like way back then,
bro. They're in like season 40 right
like
now.
Like 90s, 2000s, like around there.
What season are they even in? How many seasons are in The Simpsons, bro?
They are at least
still going. Like,
they are past season 30
they're not ending
for
it,
sure.
Bro, that's some cash cow, bro. Like you just keep making because Simpsons is just stupid. I'm honestly a Family Guy person. Like I grew up on Family Guy. Like
no, same.
I was always like hiding it from my mom that I was watching it because like all this swearing and stuff. And you know how the intro is like sex on TV. Like when they used to say the word sex on TV, I used to like yell. Yeah, put it down a little bit, yell so my mom doesn't hear it. Sometimes she did hear me. I had to deal with that, but yeah, for sure. But Simpsons, like there was this one conspiracy. No, oh my god, they had this one time, bro. It was like Trump was going down an escalator. He had his hand up, and it was like literally detailed down, like he was going down the escalator. He put his hand up. He was wearing a red tie and a blue suit or some shit like that.
Same exact one.
And then there was a lady in the background with a poster. The poster said the same thing. The same thing. And the angle of the shot of Trump doing this was literally perfect. Like going down the escalator at the same speed, same like layout of how the escalator was. There's two escalators. Dude, it is fucking crazy.
And I watched a video recently, and I watched
so crazy.
I watched a video recently about breaking down The Simpsons and like these predictions.
Yeah.
And it's weird because they broke down the difference, and this is gonna sound a bit complex. They broke down the key differences between prediction and a coincidence. Now, granted, some of these could be a coincidence. Like, okay, like,
dude,
like for example, Disney buying Fox, like the one I just like pointed out. Like, Disney's gonna buy eventually. They bought Marvel. They bought
but that's the thing is like Disney was like everyone knew that was like gonna be that's like a national thing. But that Donald Trump,
that's not a coincidence.
The Donald Trump way that he was, bro, like come on,
literally
he was going
perfect.
Come on, let's open our eyes. He was going down the escalator. He put his hand up. He moved his body the exact same way that he did in the cartoon like 8 years before, bro. Come on. And then there was this. What was this other conspiracy? It was like this another one, bro. It was like
him getting elected was another part of it.
Of course. Him getting elected, and there was another one with Obama losing or something like that. But I don't know. It was involved with
the recent
Obama.
SuperBowl one. How the score was almost the same.
Yeah, that's scary. The Simpsons whole conspiracy thing is like weird. It's like actually weird.
And I was watching this video, and like this video went so into detail. They even broke down they even brought mathematics into this. Like they brought mathematics, like how is this possible? Like they're able to pull this off. And one of my coworkers talked about it. He was like, it could be the fact that let's say people that watch The Simpsons maybe try to bring that to real life, which isn't far fetched to think about. But at the same time, like the Donald Trump thing, for you to have that perfectly angled. Going down the escalator with the label.
Tariq, it was literally
the same.
It was literally the same.
The same.
The fact that there was, and I believe that there was like a baby stroller or something along those lines.
They have so many predictions.
It was like It's hard. That's like mind blowing. Like you cannot explain that. There's no other way to explain that. I'm not saying time travel. I'm not throwing that out there, but the coincidence of insane. Trump doing the same exact. Because dude, listen, he literally put his hand up and then moved to the side. He said hi to the people and then went to the side. But he did it at the same exact way. And there was a lady in the background holding the same sign. The sign said the same thing, and people in the background are doing the same thing. Like, bro, that's not a coincidence, bro.
Shallow end or deep end? I'm going deep end on this.
For sure, bro. That's the deepest end of the deepest ends, bro.
On God, like that's past.
Bro, we might get killed if we're talking about this. So,
might be the end of deep depth. Were the aliens involved? This is the last episode. Like, jeez. Were the aliens involved in the makings of the pyramids? But
for sure.
Now check this out. Check this out.
Dude.
Now according to the I was reading this history page. The Great Pyramid is made of millions precisely of hewn stones, weighing at least 2 tons each. Even with today's cranes and other construction equipment, building a pyramid as big as that of
how much was each one of those stones?
2 tons each. 2 tons each. Now,
one stone. How many stones were there? Like 9? No, not. It was more. It was like
there was millions. The Great Pyramid is made of millions of these hewn stones. And here's the thing,
millions. Right? No, bro.
It was as big as a Pharaoh Khufu. It would be a formidable challenge, even with today's cranes. And now here's the thing, and why people believe it's the aliens thing. Specifically, Elon Musk pointed it out. There's this astronomical configuration of the pyramids, which is said to align with the stars in Orion's belt, as well as alien theorists often point to the fact that these 3 pyramids are in a way better shape than other built centuries later. Never mind the amount of work that has gone to preserving them over the past several centuries. Dude. Now, there's certain sites in Egypt you could tell it was all hand built, but it's the pyramids, specific pyramids. I remember watching this video on YouTube by the History Channel. It was a clip about this specific room that shoots meant to be like a signal for the sky. And it's crazy because you think, like we said, like how did they truly do this? You would have to have Bruce Banner's strength.
Literally, you realize like if you messed up that math in any way, like even off by a centimeter, that whole thing topples. It's that heavy. It has to be perfectly placed. Honestly, but I think that it could be human made. It might be a little shallow because some people do reach, like some people just bored. It might be shallow, but then the thing is, I've heard conspiracies that the pyramids extend underground. So under it, it's like a huge tall monument like they have in Washington, D.C., you know, that tall one by that river. I forgot what it's called. I think it's I forgot what memorial it was. But it's like this long like cube.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about in Washington, D.C.? But,
yeah, I know exactly.
But the thing is like it can be carried by man because if you have like, because they had hella slaves back then and stuff like that, bro. So if you know you had how many people could probably carry one of those? How much does it weigh? 2 tons?
2 tons each stone.
Damn, that's like
2 tons each stone.
2 tons is a lot, bro.
You're talking about that beam, right? But it's literally called the Washington Monument.
Yeah, Washington Monument.
Yeah.
I heard that it's like a Washington Monument type of figure underground, so it just goes up, and the tip of it is at the top. So that's supposedly what that is. But I think it could be done, but it's gonna take you at least like 200 years. They definitely went through generations of kings. I mean, aliens, bro. First off, aliens.
You cannot tell me they don't exist. Like anyone out there, they definitely exist. There's no way.
The universe is way too big, bro.
Way too big. Like I'm not trying to sound like I'm sorry for bringing anime into this, but
oh my god,
like really? if there's like a Dragon Ball Z, if there's a Planet Namek out there, if there's a Piccolo out there,
yeah, I don't know any about that. I'm not a nerd.
You cannot tell me there is no like okay with Superman, Krypton. Like, I'm not saying Superman is real, but there could be another planet out there. Legit, with a civilization. Dude, there's no way.
I don't think there's like green aliens with big ass eyes out there. No. I think that there's like insects and bugs and maybe some type of animal on a different planet. But I don't know about green eyed, literally.
I feel like that was just more of like a fantasy thing we just imagined.
Yeah, because when you think of aliens, that's what you think of.
Or gray. Green or gray.
That's the Hollywood
depiction
of aliens, and we grew up on it. So every time you think of aliens, that's what you think of.
Gray, green, big eyes, UFOs.
I mean, but aliens, dude, our solar system in general, like not even just talking about Earth's, like it's way too big.
Way too big.
Dude, to think about it, Tark, we're literally a piece of dust. A piece of dust compared to these galaxies. Like, there's galaxies
upon galaxies upon galaxies.
And then that's all in one big galaxy, right? And that's all a part of another. It just goes on. It goes on. Like, I'm pretty sure the end of it is just one huge black hole. What is in a black hole?
There's the black hole really like
what even? It's like a vacuum.
Basically a vacuum cleaner.
Vacuum?
Basically a vacuum cleaner. Now to make the final verdict.
It's just straight black.
I'm gonna make the final verdict. I think it's shallow end, but I don't think it's far fetched for us to think that. If that makes sense.
Let's go medium end.
What, like 5 feet? Like,
hey, it's like it's deep if you want to make it deep, but if you just want to just take your L, it's shallow. But for me personally,
I'm gonna go shallow.
I'm gonna go deep. I'm gonna go deep.
You feel like there's more behind this?
Has to be. It has to. Not that it's weird. Not like aliens and like other shit, but like I feel like there's more that we don't know. That we don't know about this. It has to be.
And now finally, we have a third new segment we like to do every now and then.
Basically implemented into the show, man.
So the last time I did Would You Rather was on episode 2 with a CEO of ENT, Justin Hudak. Now it's a game of Would You Rather. So we got a couple before we end off the show. So the first one, would you rather be in the history books for something terrible you did, or when you pass on, you're completely forgotten?
Oh, definitely terrible. I have to have some clout before I leave. Come on, let's go. Let's think about it. You think I want to live on this earth and nobody remember me? Come on, that's depressing. I mean, how bad of something am I doing? Am I like genocide or what?
It's a touchy subject.
What are we thinking? Hey, you said terrible. Well, I'm answering your question, buddy.
Well, I mean,
if you can't handle the heat, stay out the kitchen, buddy.
No.
Just let me know.
Okay, if you wanna put it that way, then yes.
Give me genocide. How bad? What are we thinking? We thinking like Genghis Khan or?
Well, Genghis Khan. That's out of this. Yeah, that's out of this world.
Like Genghis Khan type of bad.
Genghis Khan was evil.
Oh wow. Is it my fault? Like, am I a bad guy or just am I opinionated bad guy? Like, oh yeah.
Either or.
Because, wait, was Genghis Khan? Oh, he was pretty bad. He murdered a lot of people.
Fun fact about Genghis Khan, I don't know if you knew this, people that he already murdered, he would catapult them, set them on fire, and catapult them to buildings.
Why do you know that?
Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, like, and I did some further research on that.
No, I would say, yeah, I'd just be remembered in the history books as a bad guy. That's pretty raw. Being a villain.
I'll take the villain role.
I like to ruin things sometimes.
I'll take the villain role.
I like being evil. You know. I'm
glad we're in agreement on this. Would you rather travel the world? Would you rather travel the world for free, or have $50K of $50K up front and spend it however you please? I'm traveling the world.
50 bands, bro. Give me my 50 bands. Stop playing, bro.
I'm traveling the world.
Where do I sign, bro? Give me the money.
50. I'm not mad at that.
Travel the world for, bro? For free?
For free.
What do you mean by free? Airplane, hotel, all that, or just airplane?
Everything is free.
All inclusive.
All inclusive accommodations.
Oh wow.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd go to like Thailand on a Tuesday and come back on a Thursday. Like,
I like how you're specific about that. Thailand on a Tuesday, I'm gonna come back to Chicago on a Thursday. Yeah. And then Saturday, I'm gonna go to Jamaica. Would you rather always be stuck in traffic, but you manage to find the most perfect parking spot, or you're never in traffic, but it takes a while to find yourself good parking?
Damn. I'll probably just be stuck in traffic, bro, because think about it. You just went through all that.
And now you're going to
and then boom, just spot right in front of where you're at. Like, say you're going to school, boom.
Right there.
Spot. But then again, if you don't have traffic and because it's so frustrating trying to find parking. What's more frustrating, traffic or finding parking?
I think it's finding parking, especially
for me, it's
spinning
traffic
the block.
Because, bro, like for me, it's parking too. Because a lot of people are just stupid. Like, there's a lot of dumb drivers out there.
And the way they park too, especially like, parallel parkers.
Like, it's so bad. What kind of parking lot are we talking about though? Are we talking about like a AMC parking lot or a parking like
Any sort of parking lot. We could talk parallel street parking. We could talk about mall parking lots.
Parallel street parking where you can't find parking is the worst because you always end up parking 6 blocks down your destination. Like 6 blocks literally. It's stupid. It's actually so stupid.
I'm gonna go be stuck in traffic but find the most perfect parking.
Nah, yeah, I'm gonna do that too for sure.
Would you rather have the police hunt you down for a crime you didn't commit?
What kind of crime?
Let's say like a bank robbery, like the most basic one, but you didn't commit it.
Get into something more like deep, like worse.
Or you didn't commit, or how about this? Or a serial killer that's actually hunting you, like a well-known serial killer.
What kind of serial killer are we talking about, Jeff, or the fat one, the clown, killer clown? What's he would.
Let's be a bit fictional. Let's say Michael Myers is hunting you down.
Hell nah.
I'll take the cops.
I'm gonna. So either jail or death.
Jail for sure.
Bro, getting killed by Michael Myers, bro. Come on, bro. Think about it. Matters.
Would you rather have the ability to erase your own memories? So let's say certain ones you don't want to remember, or be able to erase someone else's memories.
I'm erasing somebody else's. I'm doing some mischievous things, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't say it what I would do, but there's some things
that'll be the end of the episode.
Nah, but I'm going to go rob a bank, erase your memory. This didn't happen. I'm going to go buy some food, do this, do that, just play with people all day. I can't say like some other things that, but yeah, I definitely
I'm trying to keep
other
this
people's
podcast.
minds. Why would I erase my own memory? Why would I do that?
Let's say certain ones you don't remember, like you getting run over. Like I don't want to remember that.
How many times does that happen to you a week? Have you ever gotten ran over?
No, but
what? Okay, why would you? What's the? I actually have a friend that got ran over 2 times in the same week.
That sucks.
Yeah, it was kind of bad. He got hit by a motorcycle and then got hit by a car in the same week. He ain't been the same since. He has a little limp. He has a little limp in his walk. So
now all you need is a school bus. School buses are the worst.
What? You got what?
CTA or school buses?
Oh, what are you saying? Like to drive or
to get run over by?
Jesus, Tarek. Probably a school. No, I'd say probably CTA because you got a big old front, not like a school bus.
Especially if there was a couple bikes racked on there.
Because a school bus, you're not going that quick. Some CTA drivers be pushing. You remember those CTA days, bro? I mean, if it's late at night and your CTA bus driver does not care about his job, he's going 60, bro.
I'll never forget, crazy. Like, I was thinking, like, it was, like, one of the 85 buses to go back home. And then it was, like, one of the stops by...
You ever take a wrong bus, end up downtown because you fell asleep on a bus or no?
No.
That's happened to me, but I woke up and I didn't get that far. But I didn't have any bus money to get back
I've
home.
had a similar scenario. So it was after work, me taking the Blue Line train. I was dead tired after work. Mm-hmm. And I remember, you get off at Jefferson Park, but I slept 8-9 stops past it. And I remember I woke up and my brother was picking me up that day. And I remember it was like next stop serves.
Wait, but
Damon. I'm like, what the fuck? And
how do you fall asleep on a CTA or a train? I didn't fall asleep. I was dozed.
I'm tired. I started like 5 in the morning.
You can get robbed, bro. You can if somebody sees you, what if it's you and a homeless person on
the same car.
Yeah, same car. Only you two. You're knocked out of sleep and your phone is in your hand.
What if he's knocked out of sleep? You never know.
But you're gonna be knocked out of sleep too. In this scenario, you're gonna be knocked out.
I was lucky. No, fair point.
What was the first question?
Of what? Would you rather?
Yeah. What was the question? How did we get to this point? How did we get to sleeping as on the CTA train?
It was erasing your own memories or someone else's.
Okay, yeah. I'm what's it called? I'm erasing everyone else's memory. I'm doing
the same exact thing.
Yeah, 100%.
Now
I'm getting some money.
Now this goes to your.
I'd go up to people. Hey, bro, you owe me $500. I need it ASAP. Oh, what do you mean? I forgot. I'm sorry, bro. Here, $500. I'm doing that to everyone. Like I'm doing it to like 5 people a day.
Now, this kind of goes to earlier with your football journey. Mm-hmm. Would you rather, let's say, be like an all-star, superstar player, but you're on a terrible franchise? So let's say you play for like an NFL example. Like, I don't know. Let's say you play for the Texans. Oof. Or let's say you're a bench warmer, and let's say you play for the Kansas City Chiefs. You're winning everything. You're enjoying life.
How much am I getting paid?
A week?
No, dude. How much is my contract?
Let's say it's like a 3-year deal.
What am I, quarterback?
Yeah.
ooh, because second string quarterback is one of the best jobs in the world.
Oh yeah.
You don't do anything. You do nothing. And
let's say a 4-year deal, $10 million.
Oh my God. Oh man, I'd sit on that bench so good. I'd get like cushions on the bench.
So you're gonna be a bench warmer?
100%. Why would I be a star player on a bad team? That's stupid. I mean,
I'm gonna be a star player on a bad team.
Really?
I want all the credit in the fucking world, bro.
But you're not doing anything. You're just gonna be like Dame Lillard. Would you rather be Dame Lillard or who's a really good bench like Jimmy Garoppolo when he was on the Patriots? Would you rather be Dame Lillard or Jimmy Garoppolo? He was getting paid and winning Super Bowls on one of the best teams.
But I think the Dame Lillard street cred is definitely deserved a lot because what he's done for a small market.
Oh, Dame Lillard's a dog, bro.
Because it depends. That also depends. Like when you play for a small market, you bring relevancy to them. That does play a big role in your legacy. Like granted, like obviously championships matter, but like there's a lot of really good players. Like for example, the top 75 list. How many players on that list didn't even win a championship? Like Carmelo Anthony still hasn't won a ring.
CP3 sucks.
Charles Barkley, he hasn't never won a ring.
Chris Paul.
There's so many guys that's on that list that never won a ring, but they've done so much for like a city. Like the Clippers are relevant because of Chris Paul.
Yeah. Oh.
Maybe Blake Griffin too.
Lob City was pretty big.
Lob City, yeah.
Lob City was why I know the name of the Clippers in the first place. Like the Clippers, bro, come on. Like
so bench warmer?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick a bench warmer.
I'll be a star player on a bad team.
That's weird.
Would you rather be forced to live the same day over and over and over again for the next 3 years? So let's say right now you relive this, podcast shoot for the next 3 years. The same exact day how you woke up.
And I remember it?
And you remember it, yeah.
Holy shoot.
Or have 3 years removed from your lifespan.
I mean, won't I already be losing it? Okay, so you're basically saying you're losing 3 years no matter what. Would you rather relive the same day or just lose 3 years from your life?
I'm losing 3 years.
Oh man, dude. Why would I? Yeah, why would I? Because I'm losing it anyway. Why would I want to relive the same day? That's horrible.
3 years?
Yeah, I'd go 3 years.
3 years, yeah.
Sure.
And last and final one, it's pretty disgusting. Would you rather, so you either smoke cigarettes, but it's from a public ashtray, like a leftover cigarette.
Oh, ew.
Or you have to eat food.
Freak.
The only way you eat food is off a stranger's plate, leftovers. So let's say they didn't finish their double quarter pounder. It's like, you know what? I'm going to grab the remainder of this. I'm going to go with the food. Because if you smoke cigarettes from a public ashtray, that's worse than lung cancer.
That's so nasty. Oh, man. I don't know. Those are like both horrible. I'd probably go like...
If you pick cigarettes, I will be shocked.
You like cashews? You like cashews or no?
Yeah.
Okay. I just gotta see how I'm trying to fill you out. I'd probably go food because, like, okay, think about it. You could just look at what's untouched, bro. Why would you smoke that cigarette, bud? First off, cigarette ? What are you doing? Whoa, take a step back. Yeah, I'd go with food, bro. Because, like, wait, how much am I eating?
Just whatever's left over.
I have this. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'd just go food, bro. I can't do that. No, that's disgusting.
No, that's too disgusting. I think that's worse than lung cancer. I think you're literally asking for death.
Yeah, like cigarettes in general. Like that's crazy, bro. What are you doing?
Like imagine like like those. I don't know if you ever been like to those European airports. They have like those little smoking rooms.
No, we have. I'm from Palestine, bro.
You guys have that in the airport?
We don't have. I don't know if we have. We don't have an airport over there. Do we?
Oh shit.
Do we got an airport? Do we have an airport in Palestine? No, we don't got nothing, bro. We don't got Wi-Fi, bro. Hey, bro. We don't got that much over there, bro.
You gotta find some way.
Hey, figure it out. That's what
you just gotta figure it out. But no, like, I just think, I'd rather go with the food off a stranger's plate.
Yeah, for sure. Food off a stranger's plate because cigarette out of a random butt is disgusting. You might be.
And plus, like, imagine like
and stuff. Yeah.
Not that it matters, but imagine like what cigarette brand you're smoking. Like, imagine grabbing a Newport Short.
Whoa. Hold on. Take a step back. Bro, it's a cigarette in general. It's disgusting.
Well, you could argue, not that I approve of it,
but
you could argue, like, to cigarette smokers out there, I'll possibly evoke a poll, like maybe like a go-to cigarette.
We're gonna like smokers. Why would you ask? What is your go-to cigarettes? Answer here: Marlboro or Newport. What are you doing,
American
bro?
Spirits.
Why do you know that many brands in the first place? What are you doing?
Or other.
Or there other? Please raise it down. Like asking people for cigarette suggestions, bro. What are you doing?
No,
That's sick, bro.
But ladies and gentlemen, that will be the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
It was definitely a fun ride. It was definitely a fun swim to the deep end. Barah, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, man.
You'll probably catch him soon on an Overtime Sports Hour. Guys, don't forget, check out social media links in the link in the description below. Barah, best of luck in your football journey.
You, bro. Thanks for having me, man.
Love you, little bro. And guys, like, comment, subscribe as always. We'll see you guys in the deep end.
Let's
on
go.
the next one.